I have called for an external independent review of missing persons cases generally and how they're handled and how we can do better, but also of specific instances here where there are unanswered questions. And I hope that there will be a positive response to that request that we've made, that I will be making at the Police Services Board for that independent review.
But if Mayor John Tory is feeling a bit of pressure over the McArthur case, Toronto police are facing the crushing weight of expectation from the people who live in this city. Accusations of secrecy, indifference, and bungling have plagued the investigation since the start. And as Ioana Remiliotis reports, that's hardly going to change now.
The optics are bad. Years before Bruce McArthur was arrested, accused of being a serial killer, police questioned him. It's not clear why or when exactly, but it was sometime between 2014 and 2017, after police first investigated the disappearances of several men in Toronto's gay village. If McArthur was on their radar back then, police won't say.
It's a missing persons investigation. Until you can establish that a murder has happened, everyone you're speaking to is a witness. Okay, and again, I can't tell you who we've spoken to, who we haven't spoken to.
The detective in charge of the McArthur investigation says he's known about that interview for some time, but only recently had the time to assess it and has questions about how the information was handled. It's why he asked for an internal review. CBC News has learned it was unrelated to two previous police investigations involving missing men McArthur is now accused of killing. But police won't say if the information would have helped.
I can't comment exactly on the circumstances of any previous incidents and whether it would have changed the direction or scope of the investigation. I really can't say.
Dave Perry is a former detective. He says internal reviews during active investigations are highly uncommon and speaks to how serious the McArthur case is.
Every piece of information potentially is critical to your investigation, so to not have a very interesting piece of information like a previous police interview would be disappointing, and it's something that the police are going to have to find out how and why that happened.
Police have said repeatedly they arrested McArthur when they had evidence against him. It's possible police suspected McArthur well before they had proof. CBC News has reported McArthur dated Skanda Navaratman, who went missing in 2010. He's now one of McArthur's alleged victims.
The silence ends now.
But legal nuances don't land well in a community that for years suspected a serial killer was on the loose and has criticized police for downplaying the danger of one.
My SiriusXM colleague Arlene Bynan and I shared our exclusive interview with Sean Cribbin, who barely escaped death at the hands of alleged serial killer Bruce McArthur.
Sean Prue is a well-known personality in the community. He says a survivor he interviewed may have been more careful had police issued any type of warning.
If we knew what I believe the police had some suspicion of, even if there was just a warning, to take precaution, I think a lot of people would have acted differently, and there's a lot of resentment about that.
And Ioana joins us now. Ioana, you can completely feel the anger in those comments.
Oh, for sure. And the community has been saying for a while now that police took too long to identify McArthur as a suspect. But in fact, there's a statistical pattern that might be at play here. In serial killer investigations, it seems police more often than not have spoken to their suspect well before they identify him as one. So in that respect, it's not so unusual that McArthur was spoken to well before he was arrested.
Interesting. So a couple days ago, we talked about police releasing that grisly photo of the dead man, another victim. Any update on what's happened since then?
Dozens of calls have come in. Apparently some have been discounted early on. Others seem to be more promising, but police say it will be a while yet, probably weeks before they will have an identification of this man.
Okay, Ioana, thanks very much.
You're welcome.